I'm Dan, and this is 10,000 Hours of Indie, a podcast exploring new music and delving deeper into what goes on in the background of the independent music industry. I'm a musician and passionate music lover, and I wanted to delve deeper into new music in the independent scene around the world. I also saw this as a chance to help artists connect and share their stories, so if there's someone you hear and you want to find out more about, every podcast has links in the show description. Get involved, help this community grow, follow on the 10,000 Hours of Indie socials, you can find all the links in the show description. And also feel free to email me about anything music related, 10,000indie@gmail.com. I'm open to any ideas and love listening to your promos. So the Birch are a psychedelic rock trio from Quedlinburg, Germany, consisting of Lukas Harbenreich on guitar and vocals, Santi Garcia on bass and Volker Blath on drums. They create vigorous driving riffs which send their audiences on a spiritual journey. Having formed 5 years ago, the band released their debut album Dazed Dreams in 2023 and are following it up on the 21st of November with Vicious Minds, released through Tonzonen Records. To me, this is some sweet psych rock with a great blues twist, and I needed to find out more. I'm speaking to Lukas and Santi. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation.
Was this the difficult second album that everybody talks about?
No, not really. After we finished recording the first album, we just started writing the second one, and it was pretty natural actually to write the second album. It wasn't hard at all, I think.
You were already on a roll, so you just sort of carried it on from there.
We just kept writing the stuff we also did on the first album.
What has influenced your sound as a band? Because you're young guys, and yet you sound like you've stepped out of the 70s and put sort of a modern twist on it. Where does that background come from?
I think pretty much it comes from the influences from our parents. Because I grew up listening to Linkin Park because of my mother. Also that old-time music. My dad was born in the 60s. So that whole 70s scene. So he was 10 when the Led Zeppelin albums came out. And he told me he loved them from the start. And he showed me them too. And I got to say, that's where it all comes from.
Yeah, I got to say, the first rock song I really heard was my dad got a little SD card with music on it in our car. And there was a song of Deep Purple. It's called Highball Shooter. Only the instrumental, which I really like. This was the first classic heavy rock song I ever listened to, and I think that really set the boundaries for everything.
Good bands mentioned there. Did you always set out with the aim of being a psychedelic rock band, or did that sort of develop as you found your sound?
We listened to a lot of psychedelic rock, and we really liked that. We don't really need to sound psychedelic. I think it comes naturally because the way we play our songs and the way we write them, it's a natural psychedelic touch that comes with it. We just like noise, and that's why everything sounds so psychedelic, I think.
So how about the band name? How did you become the Birch?
We don't really remember actually. So it's always funny to get asked that. But a friend of mine, he also asked me that, and he was like, "Oh yeah," so because I thought birches are the trees. After there's a wildfire, the birches are the first trees to come out of the ground after everything got swept. And I think that's a really good answer. So I would say the birch comes from that.
Do you know what? I only found that out yesterday. I went to the Natural History Museum in Helsinki, and I only found out that piece of information yesterday. So if I'd interviewed you 2 days ago, I wouldn't have known that until you told me.
Okay. Yeah, and I didn't know either till half a year ago.
The new album is called Vicious Minds. Tell me a little bit about the themes of the album and what you were thinking when you were writing it.
I think you can really part the album also when you listen to the vinyl, because we separated it on side A and B. This A side is more dark and more heavy, and the B side is more rock and rollish and more happy. So I think it's really just what we experience in our lives now, because we're 20 now. It's really about what we experience. So it's it's about partying. It's about relationships. it's about friendships. It's about like experience you just make. And I think that if you really listen to the songs, you know how to adapt it to your own life. And I think that's really how it also came together. Really just like a general theme for people that can connect with the way we live.
Yeah, sorry. You said you're 20 now. I was like, my God, I remember those days. Well, actually, I don't, which is why they were so good. But anyway, the album is only 7 tracks. Do you consciously go with quality over quantity?
It really depends. So we also, because when we went to the studio, it was like we got a month to record the album. We actually got 8 songs, but like one didn't get on the album.
The song was way too progressive.
The song was way too progressive. It was like a 13-minute song, and we just cut it out of the album. Maybe it's gonna be on the next album. We'll see.
Yeah, I was going to say it won't be a single release, will it?
No, probably a single LP. Maybe we get it to like 40 minutes. The song like Dope Smoker, maybe like that. But no, we get like 7 songs now, and we just said that, as you said, quality is better than quantity. So we don't put the 8th song on the album. The album wouldn't be as good probably as it is now.
Well, with the 2 bands you mentioned earlier, they were both quality over quantity. Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin. I don't think Led Zeppelin ever put more than 9 tracks on an album. So
yeah, I don't think so.
What is your writing process? Do you go in with lyrics and jam things out, or does somebody come in with a guitar riff, or how does the process of writing a song work for the band?
We have this like little WhatsApp group where we send little voice memos of our riffs that we just play at home, and then I would come up with the riff, and then we just start jamming it together. And then I don't know, like a week later, Lucas would come with the lyrics already done, like a melody in his head. And then we just kind of like build up on that. So a little bit of jamming, a little bit of like self-inspiration. And yeah, pretty much how we write songs.
You've also got some keyboards played by Pablo Manresa on the album. What do you think that added to your sound? Was it somebody you already knew who you had an idea how they would fit in, or how did that work?
That's kind of like an old friend from my aunt. I knew him when I was like 8. He would always hang out with me and play Xbox and drink Coke with me. He was like my friend when I was little. And I just remember him playing keys one day, that he's like a little bit of a jazzy guy, a little bluesy. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe we could just ask him if he could play the keys on the album. And it worked pretty good. I mean, I think the keys really added a new depth and another layer and makes the album sound a lot fuller than with just the 4 instruments that we always use.
We got the test pressing of our vinyl yesterday, and I was listening to that. And I really think in the song Little Treat, for example, with the keys, remembers me like it's a frumpy song, really. So like the sound we got with the keys, it really creates a distinct sound for us. It's also a little German, I think. So as Santi said, the wideness of the sound just like expanded so much that it was like we couldn't not do it.
And with your mention of Deep Purple as well, the Hammond organ's obviously something that's in your mind as well.
Yeah.
How about your favourite track?
I think my favorite track is Downpour, because that's more like, that's the ballad of the album. And I'm a huge Queen fan, and like the ballads from Queen are my favorites. And I also wrote the starting riff to the song. Yeah, and I'm excited for people to hear it too, because I think it's really beautiful. There's also like a string arrangement also made by Pablo.
Yeah, I also like Downpour, but I gotta say, like, my favorite song is actually Trinity, the last song on the A side, because if you listen to the solo, we got like this ping pong delay. So if you really listen to it with the good stereo sound, I think it's best to use headphones. You can like really hear the solo like going from one side to another, and just as psychedelic as we get in our band history with the sound. So I really dig that.
So how is the music scene in Germany? I know quite a few German musicians, but you're obviously in quite a niche with your genre. How does the music scene fit for you guys?
Well, it's interesting, I think, because like the German music scene, it's really wide open, and it's like there are a lot of genres and a lot of different bands. What I like about the German scene is that you're not just as we are like in the psychedelic rock scene. So you know bands with like different styles and different genres. There are quite some very good psychedelic rock bands for sure. Like obviously Cadaver, which are like the biggest psychedelic rock band in Germany. We also get like great bands like Vulkan or Wedge, or also Speck, which are on the label too. The only band that I know that are like the same as our age are like Kant, which is also a really, really good band. We saw them at Desert Fest too. They're really good. It's also nice to not have too many young bands around. You know, you get a lot of space to like be the newcomer too, I think.
Less competition.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you played outside of Germany yet?
No, we're planning on it. We got loose plans. We just got loose plans, but we're like planning to get out of Germany too.
You're all quite young. Do you think that has helped with your sort of ambitions and where you want this band to go? Do you think it's a bit easier as a young musician to accept the setbacks you have in the industry?
I think so, yeah, probably, because also we're from Quedlinburg, so in Quedlinburg is like a small town, and there's not not a lot to do. So we just made our own parties and our own concerts. So we just went into spaces and just like organized it ourselves. I think that's pretty cool to have things going on as young musicians. So we were like 16 and we like threw our own record release party with 100 people or something.
in some old basement in the industry like zone here.
That's kind of cool because
Yeah.
just playing gigs is fun when you're your age. You don't have to make money out of it. You can just do it because you enjoy it.
And I think it's really, really fun to just like do things with what you got. Because we're so young, we don't have that much to like go with. We got like this philosophy of just doing things, and we're not procrastinating too much. And I think that's really good because we are all just studying well at university, so we don't have much to do other than studying and making music.
So on your Instagram, you've got quite a few live clips from around your German shows. What's been your sort of highlight so far in terms of live shows?
I think I've liked the energy. It was like we played in Dresden in July at Ostpol, and this was a really fun gig. For me, it was like one of the best gigs energy-wise and like with the crowd.
I gotta say, last year when we played in our hometown in the summer, it was like 30 degrees. It was like everybody was sweating, and then we had to take our shirts off on stage. It felt pretty rock and roll. And then Lucas did like a guitar solo while he was surfing on the crowd. I think that's pretty top tier.
In your live show, I guess you feed off of the audience reaction a lot. That's the shows that have stuck in your mind are because of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I checked out your YouTube and was wondering if you've got any plans to make some videos for songs from this album.
Yeah, we actually got a music video for a single for your head, which will be released on the 23rd of October. We got a video coming for that. And you can also see clips on Instagram now if you like want to check out.
What's your sort of ambition as a band? What do you want to achieve?
The thing that bands really need to do is like somehow get a connection to the time that we're living in. Also, we do like the psych rock, and it's like a little retro and vintage. I think we got like a pretty modern sound of it now, and I think we just want to get an extra aspect musically about like what's going on in our time and how we feel about it and how it influences us.
Are you inspired by other bands that are doing sort of similar things to you? Probably bands like Greta Van Fleet and young-ish bands like that who have sort of trodden the path that you want to tread.
Yeah, I think Greta Van Fleet was a big influence when they first came around for us too. We don't really like to be the retro theme, you know, because we got our own time now and we got so many things to do and so many new things to do that I think it's not worth to get like in this retro perspective about living in the 70s, because we live in the 2020s now, and I think you can work with that too.
There's certainly a lot going on that you can write about in the world at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
We briefly touched on live shows. I haven't seen that you've got any upcoming shows listed yet. What have you got planned to promote the album?
We got some shows. You can see this on our label's website. We're gonna play on the 23rd of November in Berlin at Schokoladen, and then we'll play at the 29th in Leipzig with Espuma from London, and we also play with them in Quedlinburg the next day, the 30th of November at the Reichenstraße. It's called. It's like our hometown venue.
So that's a big one for you.
Yeah, also a really fun one because it's like family.
Because everybody that we know like comes, and usually it's also like the parents from our friends. So it was very nice to talk with them too.
The final question, and this will be an interesting one from you guys. What music are you listening to at the moment that people might not have heard of, that listeners to the podcast should be more aware of?
The Lemon Twigs, the best band in our time. And Sandy and me, we are like big fans of the Lemon
Big
Twigs.
fan.
So you need to check out the Lemon Twigs for sure.
I completely agree with that. I think it was the album before last, Back to School or something like that, was it called?
Go to school. Yeah, that's a really good.
I bought that on vinyl as soon as it came out because that's a magnificent album.
I think Songs for the General Public, the album after Go to School, is the best album of them, actually.
Okay.
Because it's just like this misfitty 70s pop rock alternative theme. But I also like the band Visitor I think they're from the US. They got really good live clips on their YouTube, and I think they just like released their second album.
So for anyone wishing to find out more, you're on Instagram, Facebook, Bandcamp.
Exactly.
YouTube.
And you can also like see news about us on the label's website, tonzonen.de, I think.
Vicious Minds by the Birch is released on November the 21st via Tonzonen Records, both physically and across all streaming platforms. Thank you for your time, guys. I wish you the best of luck with the album and playing live, and come and play here. I think you go down there's a great psych scene in Helsinki.
Send us bookers. We're gonna be there.